Well, good morning, everybody. It's Tyler Danger Bird. Today's the 8th. We are in total chaos at the moment, and everybody's kind of coming to terms with that. We got Rand Paul bitching. We got all these uh, Wall Street gurus bitching. Maybe sipping my coffee as I go through this. Um, I went to that protest in D.C., did a lot of driving, did a little bit of sleeping, and I'm still recovering. I'm too old for partying like that. And I got some work today, which is going to be great. So the purpose of today's video is going to be talking about, should we make another party? Should we get out and group up and get a different one? Why am I saying that? Well, in DC, I learned a few things I didn't realize. Now I'm a little mad about it. Kinda. Okay. This is what I didn't realize. I didn't realize that, not all the Democrats are down with trans. Like in sports and stuff. Like just accepting them as people and stuff. They really have limits to their understanding, and they appear to me to want to leave out the trans, And then there's another group, that wanted to leave out the Palestinians. And then there's, people that believe immigrants, need to have all their ducks in a row and everything. I mean, there's just they left out at least three groups, not the bulk, but they're leaving them out, man. They're leaving them out. The Palestinians they left out in policy, which is kind of brutal. So my pitch, man, is going to be pretty cut and dry. Everybody has to be included, or why are we doing it? We can't make our own bad guys. We can't have our own groups left out. The representation that we have cannot be attacking a subgroup. Period. And when people are out there and they can't join us because we left them out, I got a fucking problem with that, man. There's no reason to leave out these groups. So I'm going to get to what I think this is all about now. This is what I'm going to get to. I think Israel's money in our politics needs to fucking stop. Full stop. And anyone that collects money, anyone that gets CPAC money from Israel, anybody elected that got elected with foreign money, we need to cut that off. Because there's no way Americans with the full access of information would sit by and watch Palestinians like the way they did at that rally. And there's no way that Americans with all the information would be attacking immigrants and looking for criminal immigrants within our ranks. It's a weird thing to hear people talk as you're walking around and seeing the other groups sit out. And we're sitting here trying to get a country for all of us, everyone, and we're leaving out groups. When I went there, because like in Columbus when we protest here, and the Tesla dealer when we protest here, I don't see subgroups. I didn't see subgroups, man. I thought we're all together. Then you go to D.C. where it's really at, where you see large groups of people where it's really at, and you see we're all divided. That ain't going to work, man. That's so damn dumb. You know, we could play politics all day with why those groups aren't included, why they shouldn't exist, why. No, they all should fucking exist. Period. The governments and the bad people that ruin our fucking lives shouldn't exist. Those people should fucking exist. If they get radicalized and get hate in their heart and go do stuff, then yeah, they shouldn't exist too. The person that did it. Not everyone behind them. It's insanity. Red hats. The amount of distaste that my guys and me and the people within my group have for people that misunderstood information, that got played, that voted against us, and now we're feeling that heat of betrayal. The thing is they're feeling it too. So what's the fucking point of hating on them more? Now, we hated on them because they couldn't fucking figure it out. And we tried to get them to figure it out. But now, they're figuring it out. And you want to hate on them some more? Open the fucking door. Your arms could go like this. Bring them in. And then the longer they're with us, the more shit they're going to fucking start understanding. Don't fucking turn your door to them now. Like, these are Americans, man. Everywhere you turn around, the Palestinians, the immigrants, the fucking red hats, man. These are Americans. How do you think you would make it out of Alabama if you were in a poor white neighborhood that never seen economic success for decades and still doesn't today? And you see things like DEI and how other people are getting ahead, and there's somebody in your ear saying they're stealing your money. How would you turn out? Would you be any different? That's the point. Would you be any fucking different? You know, we forget these things. They're human, man. They're human. They grip the things they don't understand. They trust me, bro, on people they shouldn't have. And we tried to help them. We did, but we couldn't. We weren't skilled enough. Why aren't we blaming ourselves for not having the skills to argue with the red hats? Why aren't we blaming ourselves that when they needed us the most to show them the light, we didn't have the tools to show them? It goes both ways. I don't blame myself for them not knowing. None of you should. You made an effort, right? We made our effort. But our effort wasn't enough. And it was our effort that failed. The government fucked them from birth. The system fucked them from birth. And then they were in a line of people that have been fucked for a long time. PTSD on the highest levels. And we're blaming them for not understanding shit. It's bullshit. So, anybody in a red hat that is violent, all bets off. Lay them the fuck out. You know, seriously. That ain't cool. No American deserves another American's violence at all. Whether it be in policy or cruelty or otherwise. They deserve our empathy, man, at all times. Until they do something to somebody else. These people might have voted for something. They might be watching the news fist pumping for something. But you and I both know. You and I both know. If it was them and that getting clobbed and dragged and fucking shaved and off to a camp, they would want us there. So we know these Americans in the right situation are going to want what we want. So when these guys come out and they're fucking confused and they don't know what the fuck's going on. They thought it was going to get great. They thought it was going to get lower prices. They thought everything was going to be beautiful. We're like entering like Great Depression type shit here now. We're at the tipping point of the start of this shit, and it's just going to until we see an end. I don't. I don't see an end. And without everybody, how the fuck are we ever going to fix it? We need us all. Lower your shit, man. Lower your guard. And if you're me, man, we got to start thinking about a party that has everybody in it. Everybody. None of this me versus them, us versus... None of it, man. It ain't about that anymore. It ain't about that anymore. It's about saving all of us now. And if you want a great economy, if you want a great country, numbers make us great. So put the guard down. Let's get something together where we're all together in on it. I can't emphasize enough how I meet people and they are fucking hoodwinked. And they're so nice. And all you hear is Marjorie Taylor Greene, you know, Jim Jordan, you know, these fucking idiots. Trump, that's all you hear. Then you go meet one and they're just like normal bloke. But again, if you see violence, you absolutely cannot tolerate that, man. No ifs, ands, or buts. You can't. You have to stand up to it. But it's easier to stand up to something when we're all there. The Democrats in charge have their own target groups. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of target groups. Because when you target people, you ain't finding solutions. You're finding fucking excuses. And I'm sick of the excuses they give just as much as I'm sick of the excuses that fucking GOP give. You don't fucking allow people to be targeted and left out, man. If you want a real party, that ain't the way to do it. You see, you make a party that includes everybody, and if they don't want to come, it's a choice of theirs. It's a choice that they have. But when you automatically disinclude them right out the gate, it's not a choice for them. It's a fucking moral standing. And when you don't understand that, you're never going to see it. How do you fucking get people that are so confused, twisted in propaganda? Now they're losing their ass, or losing their jobs, or losing their life. They don't know where to go. The government's shutting down all around them, right? And then they go to people that kind of know, sort of know, or know what the fuck's going on. And we're disrespecting them, calling them stupid, fuck you, you know. I do it, but now I can't. None of us can. We have to fucking open our eyes. Now's the time they're all getting betrayed. Rand Paul's even being the fucking voice of reason now. Rand Paul. They went past Rand Paul. Rand Paul's trying to pull them back in. That's how far gone they went. And the people that are coming out, they need us, man. They need reasonable people to collect everybody in and pitch the charge of what we're doing about this shit. I know that in my heart, the AOCs, Bernies are my people, man. I see it plain as day. Jamie Crockett, plain as day. Did I say that right? No, Jamie Raskin, Jasmine Crockett. Damn it. I fuck up names. Sorry. But it's plain as day. These people represent me every time they speak, every time they write a policy or law. I'm included. And I see that everyone's included when they do it. Everybody but the rich. You see, that's the thing. Like, these guys are portrayed as bad people, and they include everybody except the 1%. And everybody don't see that. They're like, no, you're taking advantage of those 1%ers. You know, like, it's fucking weird to me, man. So, if you're going to be a Democrat and you're cool with that, I mean, you're cool with Palestine being left out. You're cool with immigrants being portrayed a certain way within the group. You're cool with trans not competing in athletes, not being included. then you're no fucking better than anybody in MAGA that I could see. You may not hurt as many people, but you're still hurting people. So you're no fucking better. And if I'd have known that, I might have made a different plan when I went to DC. I might have stuck with a different group. You know, I don't know what I would have did different, to be honest. It disgusted me in a way that I feel like if we don't change, nothing saves us if we don't change. Nothing. So, if you wanted to take on the government and you didn't have MAGA, could you? No. You got 40% of the fucking voters against you. How does that work? It don't. And they convinced us that we can't have them in our group, right? They convinced us of that. How many more would be in our group right now if we had solid foundational stance on trans and every single person at the Senate in our own party said it? They don't. How do you represent trans if you don't have if you're not batting 1,000 there? You don't. Somebody's not including them. So, if you want to fix something, man, and you let foreign dollars get into our politics just so they can get bombs like Israel, then you're going to have people within our group hating the group that Israel's attacking. That's just plain as day. They got money in the cookie jar. They're feeding the people that are in charge of us. What else are they going to do when their donor says, hey, this is the pitch. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to say it and word it and whatever. The SEALs clap, man. 85% of us don't know no better. So when you say something, if it aligns with the bias, they're just going to clap with you. So we're leaving out groups, man. It disgusts me to no end. How do we do it? How do you do it? As a human, how do you do it? I think some people justify it somehow, like they in their head, oh, they're Hamas or this or that. They leave out them and the immigrants. There's got to be a criminal in there. There's fentanyl deaths. I see it, and there's got to be somebody bringing fentanyl. Fuck them. And then you're looking at trans and like, yeah, there's a guy out there trying to say he's a girl and beat up on girls because he can't beat up on the guys. And there's somebody out there saying this shit, man. And that ain't inclusive. And if you're going to be in charge, like voted in, you cannot fucking say that shit. And that's what we did. We got people in there who say things and have disagreements. I mean, that's politics, right? But if you're in a party, the party has to have one voice, one reason, and it has to include everybody. If you leave out groups, you will never be right. You will never fucking be right when you leave them out. Okay. Love y'all. Just a thought. Bye.